This is the 5-Minute Youth Devotional Reading with Alex Sarria.
August 1. Empirical check. Amos 5:6 says, "Come back to the Lord and live." There are things that you study as a child that you get the opportunity to personally try out through all your life. For example, the Coriolis effect means that the water coming out of the drain rotates to one side or the other depending on the hemisphere you're in. I empirically confirmed it the first time I came to Argentina, and indeed, the water turned the other way than in Spain. Another example I had heard of altitude sickness, or soroke. I knew it affected many foreigners traveling to Peru because of the lack of oxygen that there is at that altitude. I empirically confirmed it in Cusco when I tried to climb from the Plaza de Armas to an anthropological museum that is 65,000 feet from that place. I couldn't get there, literally. I couldn't because of the soroke. One last example of what I learned in childhood. Christian life needs experience with Christ. I assure you, after years of religious experience, that if Jesus is not your greatest passion, you go in circles the wrong way and you would suffocate spiritually. One author said, "By faith, we behold him here and now. In our daily experience, we discern his goodness and compassion in the manifestation of his providence. We recognize him in the character of his Son. The Holy Spirit takes the truth concerning God and him whom he hath sent, and opens it to the understanding and to the heart. The pure in the heart see God in new and endearing relation as their Redeemer. And while they discern the purity and loveliness of his character, they long to reflect his image. They see him as a father longing to embrace a repenting son, and their hearts are filled with joy, unspeakable and full of glory." That's Thoughts from the Mount of Blessing, chapter 2, page 26. You can only breathe when you feel it. You can empirically prove that if you breathe only when you feel like it, you'll end up suffocating. You can't eat only when you feel like it. You empirically prove that if you eat only when you want, then you'll end up with nutritional disorders. You can't love only when you feel like it. You can empirically prove that. If you only love when you feel like it, then relationships don't last. And if this is the case, why are we inspired by the Holy Spirit only when we feel like it? Why do we nourish ourselves with Jesus only when we feel like it? Why do we love God only when we feel like it? Clearly, we will have to vary some of our appetites. It is also evident that there's still good and plenty of things to experience.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If this was helpful for you, please share it with a friend. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. Always remember this: walking with God is the greatest thing you could ever do. You are his priority. Make him yours, and you will always live out your purpose. God bless.